IamLUV Google Hangout. Today is Sunday, September 27th. This is the last Sunday in the month, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Um, and we've got quite a bit of activity that's been happening this month. So some of the things we want to share, and we'll be also sending out some things to our VIP list from the events we participated in this week. My name is Monica Blair, aka MLove. I am MLove. I am a multipreneur. I have to get used to saying that word because that's actually what it is. I'm a multipreneur. I started in 2010 with my first business and actually originated with the reading of Rich Dad Poor Dad in 2007. And I've gone through starting out through the world of real estate and expanded myself into network marketing. And I have several businesses in uh, things that I participate in. So that kind of gets me in that classification of multipreneur. Along the way, I have followed my passions as well in mentoring and helping people along the way. So this hangout is focused on being able to mastermind with those who participate and join in and just have an open forum discussion and establish new relationships and grow business allies and contacts and so on through the hangout. So that's just a little bit about me. Sandra is off with her son to another event, I believe, so she won't be in the hangout today. But this is Marco, and I want to let Marco introduce himself, tell you a little bit about himself.
Hey, my name is Marco McNeil. Recent college, I'm not gonna say recent, but college graduate 2014 with a bachelor's degree in sports management, business management, sports administration. Recently came across a mindset change, just a little short story, how I wanted my life to turn out. So I started pretty much jumping into the business side and entrepreneur side, looking for different ways to and generate income. Like she was saying, a lot of things been going on this past month. We recently came from a seminar that we'll talk a little bit more about, and pretty much opened up some more streams of way how to generate income. And it's pretty much a lot of things out here that people don't know that it's easier ways to do to generate income. So we'll talk about a little bit more of that later on, and it's just short, sweet.
Okay, yeah, great. Yeah, and so for those that are on our list, we had our last business meeting, which was for those that are local who can come out and get to know us, shake our hands, learn a little bit about what we do. Um, that was pretty good. I see we got one person that's just joined in. Hi, Talise, how are you today? Can you hear us? I don't know if maybe you can hear us. We can definitely hear you, or at least I guess I hear you chiming in, maybe a radio or something in the background. But welcome to the Hangout. And so we definitely want to make this interactive. It's not just to join in and just kind of be a warrior, but actually be able to have an open forum discussion. We just did a little introduction of ourselves. If you have anything that you'd like to share about yourself, we would love to hear a little bit about you. Are you open to share with us? Or can you maybe hear us? You might not be able to hear us. You might just see our lips moving, but may not be able to hear us. But in the meantime, I'll just type a little bit in the chat bar. Okay. Yeah, so as we were talking about, there's been so much been happening this month. We had our private business presentation on the 19th. And we just came from a wonderful, exciting, energetic event with Les Brown. Oh my goodness, the lineup with Willie Jolly, Dr. Clarice Fluid, 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 um, Bob Kittel, Keith Johnson, just to name a few. There were some other people that were there in place of what was the original lineup. But we got a lot of value. Some information was reaffirming, a lot of just, go and understand where you are in life, mindset development, training. It was a fantastic event. Sandra attended, Marco attended, I attended, as well as some of our business colleagues. And the funny thing is, every single one of us signed up for a different program. So Sandra was pretty excited to sign up for the training on investing in the stock market. And I'll have to say, in speaking just on that subject alone, that has been something that has been like listening to Charlie Brown. Whenever someone tries to explain to me stocks, calls, options, it's like you could say a very simple sentence after that. My mind would just block it out. But in the way that they were able to give the presentation, it made it so very clear. It was like everyone's been telling me it's simple. And in the presentation, they were actually sharing a system that actually even makes it a little bit simpler in evaluating stocks and making a decision on if you want to invest in it and what choices you want to use in the various options that you can use in investing. So Sandra took advantage of that. I was pretty excited about the training on writing because that's where I want to go. I have a few ideas in my head of things that I want to put on paper. I have one of my passions, which is educating children and even adults on financial literacy. Because for us, with the lack of knowledge, then you can't move. And so for me, it's just as simple as that, to have a literacy of the language of finance and the definitions behind it and understanding things and options that are available to us that no one's really taught us. I mean, when you go to school, they're teaching you your ABCs. The basics you get on financing is a bank account and a checking account, and you are financially literate. And I kind of think that comes from the fact that usually the schools are partnering with the banking association. So they're going to prompt to you with what is going to work for their business. So it's not necessarily coming from educating you on all finance, but just educating you on the consumer based products that are out there. And so it's easy to get savings accounts and checking accounts in everyone's hands. And there you go with the percent, the point oh something percent that you get in growth in the stock market or in your checking account. And so meanwhile, the banks have your funds and they're able to make money on your money while your money is in the bank. So to me, that's consumer based. But there's a lot more there is out there in regard to finance for the wealthy and those that want to grow wealth. It's just a matter of educating yourself, getting out there, pushing past the conversation that you have in your head that tells you already that you can't do it, and past those people that might not have as much curiosity as you, and actually going out there and doing it. So I am pretty excited with the system that I signed up for. I'll be getting an email with the classes soon. And I'm looking forward to actually getting a lot of things out of my head and getting some systems and processes and tools out there to share with everyone else. So that's a little bit on the things that excited me. Really, the whole program was exciting. I'm gonna let Marco tell you a little bit about what he got from the event on what was that, Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, this was my first business seminar that I actually ever went to, and this is one of the best seminars I've ever been to in my entire life. Pretty much that, because it taught a lot of people that didn't know about the different ways to earn income. They literally broke it down, showed you how simple it is and how the system really works. So pretty much every speaker that came up was a millionaire, and they was pretty much what can you call it, demonstrating how they made that money. So every speaker went up, I was like, I want to sign up for this. I want to sign up for this. But there was just one speaker. He pretty much demonstrated how he made millions of dollars on eBay, and that really caught my eye because I mean, everybody know how eBay works, how easy it is, and he showed us a different way how you can use Amazon and eBay to make $500 a day, $1,000 a day. Pretty much, you do something one time, you do something one time, and then you're just making money over and over again, residual income in that nature. So I signed up for it's called Secrets of Internet Millionaire. I couldn't make the training on the weekend, so I'll be getting all the live trainings on Tuesday. So I can't wait till Tuesday so I can get started. Hopefully it works out good. I know it will as soon as when I follow through, but I just can't wait for Tuesday till I get those materials. And to speak more about what she said about the stocks, that also interests me too, because it's pretty much leveraging your money. Anytime you have people usually spend their money on cars or shoes, games, stuff like that. But if you could put aside $200-300, invest it in a small stock after you learn how it works, and then you can make that money, triple that money, quadruple that money, depending on what you know about that particular stock. So a lot of the information that they talked about, I was interested in, but the eBay, Amazon selling, I'm going to hop on that one soon.
And while we were sitting there, my mind was racing too, because there was someone that came out from the world of real estate. And so he had the crowd excited, and he was explaining tactics and processes that I've already learned and I know about. And it just kind of reaffirmed that I was going down the right road with my education. And I am, continuing in the world of real estate as well. So pretty much, like I said, it just reaffirmed the things that I know, and I was kind of excited. I'm like, hey, I know that. Hey, I know that too. So that was fun. We are going to be sharing within the VIP list. Those who have already signed up on the VIP list, Jaleesa, you are definitely on the VIP list. We have a few freebies that we're giving out, and we'll be sharing that with those on the group so that you guys can take advantage of the fact of what we have an opportunity to attend. You may be at work or something of that nature. This is a sharing group, and part of that is a two-way thing of just getting to know each other, what your needs are. We have places you can email questions so we can elaborate. We do have one of the questions we will be answering a little later today. But if you do have any question, you can email training@IamMLUV.com, and then later on through discussion, if you're on there, we can have an open discussion with you. If not, then we can at least answer that question for review later on in one of the recordings. So that was our event that we attended on Tuesday. And then I had a few wonderful one-on-one trainings with some of the leaders within my company in marketing and in the network marketing region, and just more effective marketing techniques with a very advanced marketer from Canada. And it was pretty much cut and dry, very simple. I'm learning some of the stuff that you think you know and making it just much more simpler. So that was wonderful. And then on yesterday, I attended a meetup in Baltimore. Our Real Deal group here in the local region has a very active investor pool. And I attended a training session where a young lady was training on leveraging virtual assistants. And that's where I am in expanding my business, especially on my real estate side, because you can't do everything yourself. And to have the mentality that you can, this is going to wear you out. Most people are looking for wealth because they want time freedom, and that kind of equates hand in hand. So a lot of people might say they want wealth, but really what they're looking for is time freedom. And so leveraging virtual assistants gives you that freedom for your business to continue to move and grow, and you don't have to put in as many hours. So therefore your phone's ringing all day, 24 hours a day, and you're asleep at night, and someone's answering that call, they're converting that call into what it needs to be, and then you can check a database later on and be able to respond accordingly. And so therefore your business is going 24 hours. And that's the next step of where I want to take my business. Because of the fact that I'm a multipreneur, I can't be as effective in one business doing all of the tasks that are needed. And I definitely can't be as effective in multiple businesses and doing all the tasks that are needed. One of the things that I try to do in lining up the businesses that I'm involved in is I've chosen them according to where my passions are and how they work hand in hand. So a lot of the things I can work on projects and then turn to a project in another business because of what is being done is similar. I'm on the phone, I'm making calls, I'm answering calls. I can do that in several of my businesses at one time. But to up the ante and increase my activity, I need to replace myself. So then I can increase the number of phone calls and they can come in simultaneously, but they're coming in for several different businesses, and I have several people answering those calls, and I can, in my time, schedule respond to those calls. So I attended that training on Saturday. I got a window into a nice young lady who just fell into the world of real estate, and she told her story. She's been working on her book, and that's coming out in November. And she'll be having a training session on how she's been able to build out her business and go from zero to well, I want to say multi-level, but a multi-million, but a very high income level within a year. So I'm cheering her on. I'm excited for her. I see her as she's growing, and I'm at that point too that I want to, as mentorship is another thing, and so attaching people yourself to people that have like minds and are in that same place of where you are is a benefit for you. And that's another reason why we're having this group because whatever we're sharing, there are people out there that have that same challenge and can learn from something that we have already experienced. And being interactive, then those that join in can also share because we're not the smartest tax on the ship, I guess you want to say. We just happen to be the voice that is speaking through this portal and hosting this event. So we want to learn from you as well as we share information with you. Um, so that's pretty much the sum of our week. It's been quite a bit of other things happening, but I think that pretty much will sum it up. The topic for today that we chose was networking and what was it? Networking and building relationships. So there's something we're doing right now. All the events that we attended, that's one of the things that you want to do whenever you're going out. Anybody that you know from birth. I'm a pretty much anybody who knows me knows I'm pretty much a faithful friend. So I've got friends all the way from pre-kindergarten that I'm still in touch with. And so I didn't know the terms then, but I have learned it since. And I'm kind of showing Marco to kind of open his mind on that level because that I think is one of the strongest things you get from school are the people that you meet and the networks that you grow. And it'll benefit you for years to come. I live in Washington, D.C. And I remember when my dad would mention people that he knew, but I didn't have a far enough vision at that time. But he would mention the police chief or the fire chief he knew in his generation of time. And then now I've grown up and now graduated from high school and being still here in the area in which I have been born and raised. I now see people who have grown up and gone into positions and those are people that you can turn to later on and reach out to if you need assistance, if you need help in whatever they're in, whatever company they're in, from life insurance to health insurance to needing a job to retraining and recreating yourself, your network of people who you're going to turn to help you. So it benefited me when I left my job in 2012 because I had already started growing a network in real estate and I was able to continue on in the world of real estate because of who I could turn to for mentorship and helping me make it to that next level. anything you want to mention in regards to networking and growing? Uh,
Um, I mean, as I pretty much getting into the business side, I know how important it is to network. They say I recently came across a quote that I understand now that your network is your net worth. So the more people you know, pretty much can determine your net worth because you never know who you're gonna meet that might help you on your business or anything that you might try to do. So I could have went the event I went to on Tuesday. Could have met somebody that came from California. Just um, we could have had a nice connection, building relationships, and he could have been doing his own business on the side, and I could be doing my own business. But just from us connecting all the time, he could have at one point we could probably link up and mesh our businesses together, or just help out each other if we need to. So the more people you know, it can help pretty much help you out on things that you never knew that you would need, or just in general. So the more people you talk to, just keep that relationship. I always like to build relationships with people, just to let them know that hey, anytime reach out, let's connect, let's talk, catch up on some things. You never know down the line we might need each other. So that's key for pretty much a lot of businesses, and you'll understand that the more you get into a business, things like that.
yeah, that's very true. Um, I know some people feel a little awkward or bashful. It really kind of comes down to the conversation one that you have in your head and defeating yourself and the nerves that you're experiencing and meeting new people and what do you say and how do you engage? Just say hi. Just speak to someone and just have a general conversation. Most people pick the weather to start off with until you just get comfortable in meeting people. You might see something about that person that appeals to you. Give them a compliment. Share information that you overheard. Maybe that they're looking how to get to such and such a location, and the person they turn to can't answer that question. You might have that information. Share it with them. Hey, I heard you we're looking to get to such and such a location. All you have to do is go blah 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 and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and you'll be there. Shake hands, exchange names, ask them what they do for a living. And there you go. Engaged in conversation. Um, I will also say, just as I mentioned, when I left my job in 2012, I had built a network of people that I could turn to that were the right people to help me keep going. Sandra and I met, and I guess we were in an environment that would say that we would be business partners, but in the businesses that we're involved in, we've stayed around the world of real estate, but we haven't directly done business in the realm in which we met. Um, we met having gone through training on the commercial side of investing in real estate, and we had the same mentor. Sandra had gone through the training before myself, and I think she was just kind of staying in touch as an alum. And somewhere along the line, we met, and then we decided to start going to meetups together, and we got to know each other. We stayed in touch. We have like minds on things that we're trying to achieve, and we've been, each other's cheering corner and helping each other move forward. And when an opportunity came, we both decided this was a good move for us, and so we do have mutual businesses now in common, and we do have other businesses that we have in our mind to bring together and work together on. So to say that you might meet someone that you have one business mind and business model in mind, but that doesn't mean that just because you have that in mind and it doesn't line up today, doesn't mean that it won't. Um, you want to keep it in mind, keep the person in mind, have general affinity towards that person, because if you're looking for someone to work with, you're going to spend time and engage with that person. So you should kind of have some kind of synergy that you generally like about that person, respect about that person, something that you can build from. And so, that's how we've kind of moved forward. Some of the arenas that you can consider in networking, as I mentioned, schools that you've attended, meetings is a good place. You're going out, you're trying to expand your knowledge base. Well, People there are there for two reasons: to expand their knowledge base or to share what they know. But either way, you've got a mutual mindset of that subject at the very least, that you guys could share. Um, so that's something to build from. Um, you could meet people if you are a commuter and catch the bus. There's plenty of people on the bus and subway that you can engage conversation with. And I can go on and on. It really comes down to where are your interests. Put yourself in the places that are your interests. So therefore, you're going to find people that have mutual interests. It pretty much comes down to that. Um, so I don't know if maybe you might have a little something that you might want to add to that.
Um, as, so I could elaborate just on how it works. I know. So I recently connected with a guy on Facebook. He from he is from California. Like I forgot he's from California. So we connected. We talked. I didn't know. I know he was in business. I know we got like minded just from the conversation we had. So we just decided to have a Google Hangout with each other just to talk about the things that we're doing. What he actually does is he helps create leads for different businesses to how to better expand your business. And that was from that conversation I knew that he can probably help me later on. So we still connected, but we haven't really came together to try to work out things yet. But we just connect with each other every now and then. But what he does is he pretty much has a software where he can help any business create the leads that they may need for that particular company. And I'm business, so I sometimes I do need leads to help expand my business. So I know we work together, but we just haven't came together yet. So just keep the relationship. Maybe he charges for his services, so maybe he might give me a discount or something in that nature, or we may just work together and then we can grow from there. But we just keep that connection and relationship. Just to know that it's people all around the world that think just like you and want to build and want to connect and want to pretty much grow their network. So that's just one example that I can um, elaborate on.
Yep, yep, yep. It's very true. I actually can even expand on that because I have even contacts that I pretty much call at this point friends from overseas, from Australia, from the UK, um, playing the Rich Dad game Cash Flow, which I love. Anybody knows me knows that I love to play a game of Cash Flow. I'll play it on the board. I'll play it online. I'll play it on my cell phone. And so playing online, you're playing live with people who drop in, just like you do, and playing the game. And I generally will have a sidebar chat, say a few things, cheer them on, kind of tease a little bit, in playing the game. And I have met a few people in playing that because we played so well together. We enjoyed the game so well. We decided, let's stay in touch. Connect with me on Facebook. And so we've connected on Facebook and, just stayed in touch over the years. Um, and even had discussions about business opportunities. We haven't found our way into a project yet, but who knows what the future might bring. You can't designate how the stars will line up. You just have to have opportunities available to you. And if you close your circle of contacts and have a closed circle of network, that limits the opportunities available to you. So the larger your network is, the larger group of people with mutual interests that you have, that you're connected to, increases your chances to do some form of business with all of them. If that's what you want to do, or whatever your project is. You might have an art project. You might be an artist, and you might find ways to build in your world of art just the same way. It's just whatever that subject is. We just happen to be speaking about business and about wealth building primarily. Um, but the same method applies all across the board. Um,
I'm just a little bit more elaboration. So it's not an example, but like I was saying, you never know who you may meet. So say you building a relationship with somebody, you guys talking on and off every now and then them knowing a little bit about you later on, and they may say, "Hey, I know she is interested in this. Let me contact her and see an open opportunity may open up for you. So you never know who you may meet or what they may can do for you later on. So
That is very true. I just thought about that. Lisa dropped into one of our hangouts a few weeks ago, and that's a old contact that I have from real estate. We would connect and pull and carpool together to some of the real estate investor seminars, and we kind of lost touch a little, but we were still connected on Facebook. So we revived it. She dropped in. We, had conversation after. We actually just recently did lunch together. And in the conversation and getting reconnected, and she was like, "Well, you might like this." And so she forwarded me two events. One event I'll be attending with her on Monday. So that's another real estate investor seminar. It's on marketing. And anything that I do get, I want to be able to bring it back to the group and vice versa. If anybody in the group finds anything that they think would be good for those in the group, definitely shoot an email. But she sent me, some events. One event we'll be attending together. Another one I just happened to miss it. And so, that's just sharing information, helping each other out, solidifying friendships, building relationships. Um, you don't have to monetize everything you do when you're building. You wouldn't shut your mom for a cup of water, I would hope. So sometimes you just want to just give. If you come from that giving heart, it comes back. It will come back to you. So just kind of keep that in mind. Don't approach it with that mentality of people always want to take something from you. That goes back to that personal development and the conversation that you have in your head. You want to keep a positive conversation in your head and put out positivity so that positivity will come back to you. If your behavior and your character and your mind is of a suspicion, then you radiate suspicion back to you. And people feel that vibe, even if it is the vibe that you are suspicious of them. Why would I want to continue to engage with you if you're worried about me robbing you? So, just kind of some points to think about. I know last time we went about an hour and a half, and this hangout, we had someone join in. I guess she wasn't able to speak. I know Jaleese had joined in before when we were having problems with the hangout, and I think we actually talked to her that time, but we weren't able to record it. So that was a short little hangout. That was in the very beginning when we were having our technical problems. But I guess she was having a little bit of problems with either being able to share in the environment she was in, or maybe she couldn't hear us. But either way, we've got just the two of us in the hangout today. So, for me, I know I get fed from being able to share and then having an interactive conversation. So we are going to not go past the hour. I do want to touch on that one question that Devon, one of our VIP members, has sent in. He had sent in a question, and I'm going to read the question first, and then we'll kind of go over it. Unfortunately, Sandra's not here because I know she probably have her point of view she'd like to add. But oops, I'm about to say the wrong thing. This is not the question. I wrote down I was listening to Oprah Super Sunday, getting my soul filled. And Tim Stoney was a speaker. He's a rerun, but he was such a good speaker. I took down a bunch of his quotes, so I'll be probably sharing that later too. But Devon said, if no, this is not the question either. Where did I write the question down? Or maybe I wrote it. Did I have another book? No book? No. No, I don't think so. His question had to do with something about leads. When you're marketing, generally marketing is you've got to funnel traffic. You've got to get people that are buying something that you're selling, or you've got to get people that want to sell something that you're buying. But generally, either way, you're marketing. So you get a number of people that are responding to your marketing. And basically, what his question was how many leads do you collect before you respond to them? And do you get 1,000? Do you get 100? Do you get 10? I hope that's pretty much the question. I had written it down so I could say it verbatim. So after the recording, I'll probably find it. But to answer your question, Devon, you're not collecting the leads. These are people that are responding to whatever your inquiry is, and so you're going to respond to them on an individual basis. Um, they may not be interested in whatever you have to say, and then so as a business owner, you have two portals that you can kind of put them in. If they said, "Look, I don't want to hear from you ever again. Thanks for calling. Have a good life," then you want to remove them from your database. If, however, they haven't expressed that, they just are saying no, no means not now. So then you put them in a later pile, and then you kind of reach out to them every so often. Hey, I talked to you, a few weeks ago. I just thought I would check in with you and see if maybe you're interested now. And no, I'm not interested now. So then they go into the later pile, and you reach out to them again. In another month or so, same question you might ask them. I'm just checking in with you. And some of those people that you speak to in that follow up process is going to convert to yes, they just weren't ready at the time that you reach out to them. So it's just a matter of you having a system in place in which you can follow up with them later and follow up with them later and follow up with them later. Sometimes later is a few weeks, days, or hours. Sometimes later is a few years or decades. But depending on how you have them in the funnel machine, is how that later will pop up for you. Some of them may say, "Look, I'm tired of you sending these messages. And so, therefore, I don't want you to send me anymore. Take me off your list." And you take them off the list. You're not trying to force a subject on someone. You're trying to find those that are of mutual interest. Sometimes the interests are not lining up today, but they may not line up later. So that's kind of, I'm hoping, answering your question. And if y'all have any more questions, definitely send them in. Like I said, the email is training@IamMLUV.com. Marco, did you want to elaborate any more on what he said? Any experiences you might have had, or any experience you've heard anybody else share with you?
As far as leads, pretty much same thing she was saying. You gather leads because they're interested in what you have to offer, but they're not just you collect them. If they say no, they might not say no, but they would just, like she was saying, not ready at the time. So follow up is definitely key because I personally understand how it works now because I talked to some people a couple times. They never said no, but they just never. You can the vibe of the conversation. You see that they really wasn't interested at the time, but now that they later on they kind of interested now that they see what I'm doing. They kind of interested now. So now that's where the momentum starts picking up with the leads after a while. But leads are definitely good, and follow up is definitely key.
Yep, yep. Most of what you'll get responses, the turnover actually is in your follow up versus that initial connect that you have with someone, especially if it's someone that doesn't know you. They might not want to move just that quickly. I just talked to you 5 minutes ago, and now you want me to move on whatever it is we talked about. I need to digest you and who you are and what you're about and what you share with me. I need to process that in my head. And then I want to see if you actually are one that's going to follow through with what you said. And so staying in touch, let someone know the type of integrity to a certain extent because generally, I want to say that kind of hungry, selfish type of contact that you have reach out to you are looking for the easy, quick yeses on top. Those quick money. I'm scamming you. I'm going to scam off the top. I'm not going to keep on calling you and delving in and getting to know your family and the crises that are going on in your life just to get $1 from you that I'm trying to scam. I want to scam that person right off the top and keep it moving. So it kind of speaks on your level of integrity when you're you're building a relationship with that person. That person knows that they can call you, they can follow up with you. They have another question, you're going to answer that question. You're going to keep them engaged. So all of that is in that follow up process, and getting to know whoever it is that you're trying to do business with. If it's just building business and having a business relationship, or if you're building out in order to do some kind of a financial transaction. Um, that follow up is key. Um, so I guess, we've gone about 45 minutes this time. I think we're going to cut it a little short today, being that we don't really have anyone else that have joined us. We just don't want to be just speaking to the audience in an open forum. We want you to come join us. So if you see these through YouTube and you don't have the link to join us, and you want to get the link to participate, our website to go to is www.IamMLUV.com/VIP list, as one word, .html, and that'll get you to the actual page to complete the to give us your email, because these are shared privately. The links are shared about 30 minutes before the hangout starts, and then you can join in the discussion. It's an open discussion for anyone that has a mutual interest with us. The website you can go to generally for a general overview is www.IamMLUV.com. You can reach me by phone if you want to contact me at 202-291-6588 or 716-266-6588. You can email me directly at monica@IamMLUV.com. And Marco, you want to share your contact information?
You can reach me at email at mdcmmcneal, that's mdcmmcneal @gmail.com. Also on Facebook at at Marco McNeil, MarcoMcNeal, and you can also reach me at my cell number is 202-570-0895.
Okay, fantastic. And mentioning Facebook, you can find me on Facebook by just looking for Connect with I Am in Love. Okay, so thanks for joining us, guys. I'm hoping to see you in the Hangout and have conversation. Send your questions, and we'll see you next week.